Give me the backstory behind the incident where Diddy said that he would shoot you for laughing at him.
Yeah, I had finished having sex with Cassie, and like, Diddy was weird, like even though he was paying us to sleep with his girl, dude is exceptionally competitive, bro. Like he would be trying to compete with us to out sex his girl, but he's paying us because he knows we're larger than him, and are gonna do a better job than him, which is like it's like an oxymoron or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what are you doing? On one side, you're paying me to do something, but at the same time, you're going against it by trying to compete with me. You know what I'm saying? Um, so Diddy was a strange character, So he would. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. There really is no right way to say it, honestly. I was having sex with Cassie, straight, lustful, hot, drug fueled sex. And Diddy noticed it. So when I finished, I'm gonna be honest, I was younger and I was an arrogant little dude. I'm gonna be honest. I was so arrogant. Like I knew what I was doing to Cassie. So I would get up and like the analogy, the brother done tore the woman apart and you drinking Kool-Aid after. Like, yeah, I did that. I used to do stuff like that to Diddy. Like I would smash out Cassie, get up, get a water, and be drinking the water, standing there like, yeah, what you gonna do now? Um, so Diddy didn't really like that. He didn't like the fact that I would like, I guess you want to say like be arrogant with it, you know what I'm saying? Like do it like that. So one time I did it and he was like, yo, you really think you that dude, right? I said, I'm saying your girl seemed to think so. She keep calling me. He's like, yo, I'll blow your damn face off. I said, man, you ain't got no damn gun. Cause I kind of knew him at this point. I said, bro, you ain't got no gun. And you ain't that damn stupid to pull no gun on me. So he was like, yeah, baby, go get my gun. Cassie stands up. She starts walking towards the master street like she's going to get the gun. So I'm gonna be honest, Art, like she was like 5 feet from the door. I was like, oh, she might really be going to get this. um, but she stopped right before the door. She turns around and she just goes and sits in his lap. And he says, yeah, you lucky she don't want to go get it, so I don't have to shoot you. But that's when Diddy threatened to shoot me in the face. Diddy's a wild boy. Diddy's like, they say act as if. And a lot of people might say that Diddy was a punk in the 90s and he wasn't this and he wasn't that, but you gotta imagine that a man who has lived his life acting as though he was a gangster would eventually attribute that character and become the thing that he's acting for the last 30 years. And I honestly feel that that's what Diddy is. Like even Diddy's mannerism, even his personality when I was with him in these freak offs, it read pimp. Like I literally got pimp energy from Diddy. The first 2 years, bro, I didn't even know it was Diddy and Cassie again. I thought this was a successful pimp who was pimping out his beautiful girlfriend to be a model or something like that. Because I did not believe Cassie sold vagina. I did not believe that. She was too intelligent. She was doing too much. I actually thought she was like a model or something. And this guy was just pimping the hell out of her, pimping his arrangements. Because, you got some pimps who realize that a woman's body and her mind is far more valuable than her laying on her back all day. And they make serious money with these women. So I figured Diddy was just one of these guys. I never thought that he was Diddy, and I never thought it was Cassie, bro. Never.
Was any of these freak offs recorded?
Oh yeah, I was in several of the freak off videos. They recorded me, I want to say, for the first 2 years, basically every encounter. Yeah. Me and Cassie used to have hot sex, bro. This is the truth. Like they would record it. Bro, I've seen Cassie open up videos, old videos of me and her have sex and masturbate to these videos to the point where I can see her squirting. She's so turned on by me and her having sex.
You know what happened to the videos?
I don't know, but I remember when she was taking them, I did not want to be taped. And I told her this specifically, like, yo, dude, I don't want to be on these tapes. I remember when I told her this, I knew who they were at the time. And my biggest concern was the fact that, everybody think Diddy gay. I didn't want to be on no tape with Diddy and everybody think that he's gay. Because the second people see me on the tape with Diddy naked, they gonna think it's some gay stuff. So I told Cassie this. I said, yo, listen, I don't want to be on these tapes. Like, I don't want to be on no tape with him. No disrespect. Maybe if we was in a music video, we was in the club. Yeah, it's lit being on tape with Puffy. It ain't lit being in this situation, baby. I don't want to be on no video with Puffy. She tells me straight up, no, Clay, it's okay. This is just for me because, we have such hot sex. It turns me on. Like, I love watching us and playing it back. I talk about it to Sean. Let me show you something. She goes and takes out her MacBook, bro. And like I told you, she opens a folder. She had a bunch of videos in there. I remember it was probably like 30 videos in there she had at this time. and she just cuts one on. Squirts, orgasms, all of this just off watching a prior video of me and her engaged in a freak off. And that's the only reason I really stopped asking her about the videos, because I personally saw her obtain sexual satisfaction. I had no reason to doubt that they were for her personal use and that she was using them herself. So I kind of let it go. You could imagine my surprise when the U.S. Attorney's Office had them.
Did you ever try to leave a freak off, but they made you stay? Just out of curiosity.
They used to take my clothes and my phone. So there were a bunch of times that I would want to leave, really from conditions. Let's say I would be locked in the living room with no clothes. Those five-star hotels are freezing. So I would want to leave, put my clothes on. A lot of times, you locked in a room for days. You just want to get out, walk around. There would be times I was tired before they started like giving me the drugs. Like, technically speaking, I've been here 10 hours, so I've kind of earned my rate. I'm ready to go. They would ignore me though, bro. They wouldn't give me my clothes back. They would hold my phone. Um, I remember one time specifically, Cassie had me locked in a room for like a day and a half. And I asked her numerous times to give me my phone and my clothes. And she'd be like, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll be right back. And she wouldn't come back. Then when she did come back, it was time to do a freak off. And they would want me to do the freak off before I could go to the store or leave the room. So now I do the freak off and I satisfy her. I'm waiting to give them a second to get ready in the bedroom. That second turns into 4, 5, 6 hours, and then they come back and do the same thing again. So I remember specifically there was one time where I tried to leave numerous times, but because they had my phone and my clothes, I couldn't, which kind of makes me I don't want to say it, but a hostage to an extent, because I can't willingly leave. You can't walk into one of these five-star hotels, buck naked with no phone. You're not going to get that far. You're not registered. They're not going to want to hear I'm upstairs with Diddy. You really think Diddy's going to answer the hotel phone and say, yeah, this naked black guy is with me? Absolutely not.
And you got an STD by Cassie, right?
Uh, well, I found out first because I actually got an STD test because I started feeling weird after an encounter. Not gonna ask you if you know how that feels. I pray to God you've never had that experience. I've only had it one time in my life with Cassie, and the feeling of catching an STD is not a comfortable feeling. The first thing you notice is the difficulty in urination. And that's the first thing I noticed. Like, yo, what's the hell? What the hell is wrong with me? I thought I had like water in my penis, because that happens sometime as a man. When you take a shower, you might get a little water in there, and it's discomfort when you pee. But the next day, it was worse. So immediately I go to the doctor to find out. I come up positive for chlamydia. Thank God my girlfriend was out of town at the time, so she didn't know. So I'm trying to just hurry up and get the disease over with before my chick come back, want some beef, and then I got to take care of her and possibly infect her. In any event, she didn't come back. My girlfriend didn't come back. I think it was for like 8 days because she was on a business trip. So she comes back, whatever. We do get engaged. We do have sexual intercourse when she comes back. I want to say Cassie didn't call me for like a month. But during that month, my girlfriend went to the doctor, got completely tested out. She had clean test results. So I knew after my girl went to the doctor and didn't come home and curse me out saying, you gave me something, I was good. All right, bet. I go see Cassie maybe a month later. And the first thing I did was pull out a condom, because I'm like, yo, if my girl didn't give me this, Cassie gave me this. But I can't directly accuse her because I don't know. So I didn't say anything. I just decided to wear a condom. Now, Diddy sees this condom and he says, yo, bro, what's that for? And I said, oh, we got to be careful. We've been doing this too long. I got a girlfriend. I got to be mindful of that. I don't ever want to bring nothing home to my girlfriend. I loved my girlfriend hard. Just because I slept with Cassie all this time, the woman I was with at this time, I loved my girlfriend. That's how I know I didn't love Cassie. I know I loved my girlfriend because I would sleep with Cassie and think about my ex-girlfriend. So Cassie actually comes out and Cassie says, no, babe, remember the chlamydia? I said, what did you say? She says, oh, yeah, I had a chlamydia scare because Sean cheated on me. She blamed it on Diddy, said Diddy cheated on her and told me I should go to the doctor. Yo, bruh, I was pissed. Oh, I was so pissed. I was pissed. I was disgusted. And I just remember looking at her like, this is how you tell me? I think you should have reached out and told me by phone when you found out and say, yo, Dave, go to the doctor. Like this came up. Sean cheated on me. I think I have chlamydia. I don't want you to be affected by this. Go to the doctor. I'm so sorry. You didn't even have enough regard for me as a human being to call me and tell me you think your man gave you chlamydia. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up leaving that encounter actually. And I don't think I saw them for maybe 6 months because I was pissed off. But honestly, art economic conditions play a part. They hit me again with the flim flam. They called me up because I wouldn't come. They offered me like 30 bands to go to Florida to freak off with Cassie. I ain't making 30 bands to freak off with no woman. So even though, it's been times where they haven't paid me, the simple possibility that I might get this 30 bands is enticing enough for me to get on the plane and go to Florida. So I go back down there and I have sex with her again. But I use condoms for every other time I had sex with her after that point.